have a look at how to do a project update using the X-Translate feature in memoQ. Now, the particular scenario that we're dealing with here is a file which has already been translated and delivered. There are two different scenarios that are available for project updates in memoQ. One of them is for a document that is still in progress, hasn't been finished, but this is a document in your project that's already been completed. So I'm going to sit back and watch you do your thing.
Okay. So right click, re-import.
Now you've already made a backup of this document, right?
Yes, yes.
Great. So if anything goes wrong, you can just upload that backed up MQXLZ file and you're back where you started from. So you really can't mess up.
Yeah. So select the file. Okay.
Okay, all the same filters as before.
Yeah, great, okay.
So if you had some kind of special filter setting, it would remember that and apply the same filter. If the document format changes for some reason, you have to pay attention to that. Because let's say they suddenly went to a PowerPoint file, okay, and it was Microsoft Word before, it'll try to apply the Word filter to the PowerPoint file. It's kind of a weird thing. So in those unusual cases, you have to pay attention. Here, it doesn't matter. It's still a Microsoft Word file. Okay, so now what do we got? Okay, if you look in the version column, we've got version 2.0, and you see no progress because you just imported the document. So what's next?
Next, we should pre-translate against the last version of the file.
Right, and that's the X-Translate function, which we can access in the context menu here.
X-Translate.
Okay, yes, it's the second scenario, but if this were a document that were only half translated and suddenly the client shows up with a new version, you could use that mid-project update option to make sure that everything that hasn't changed has the same status as it did before. But here, this document was completed, so this is really what we want to do. All right, let's look at our options. Okay, against major version 1, okay, that's good. And in the project, before you did the re-import, I noticed that it was completely reviewer 2 confirmed. So your setting here is good. And you've got it marked to lock the blocks of text that have not changed. Okay, but as I explained before, these will be blocks where the segment before a particular line hasn't changed and the one after hasn't changed. If something is changed on either side of a particular text, then instead of pre-translating it with the X-Translate function, it'll leave it alone. Okay, it still may be 100% match. So after we do this X-Translate, you're going to follow up with an ordinary pre-translation against the TM. But what we're doing here is a pre-translation that uses the previous finished copy of the document as if it were a TM. Okay, but this way you can make sure that there's going to be no stray nonsense coming in from the TM that you maybe don't want to have. Okay, so just click OK.
Well, next
yeah,
step
now it looks, oh, you think, oh my God, you know, there's no progress. Well, why is there no progress? It's because all of the segments that were just pre-translated have been locked. And the progress bar only shows you the progress for unlocked segments. So let's go ahead and look at your checked out copy of this, just so we can see what the document actually looks like. Yeah, synchronize the project, right? And you're going to see, here you go. Let's open it up and just take a quick look. Yeah. Okay, as you can see, the blocks that have not changed are pre-translated and locked, and they're marked in the status column with XLT. Okay, that sounds good. Let's go ahead and do some statistics on this particular document. Okay, and in the statistics, you want to look at the stuff. Okay, you're not including the locked rows, which is good. So this is going to show you only the stuff that has changed in some way. All right, go for it. Okay, you can see you've got some 100% matches and a couple of, I think, yeah, some 101%. These are matches that didn't quite meet the context requirements of the xTranslate function, but we can still get them in the second step. Okay, go ahead and close this dialog. And now let's pre-translate this file off of the preparation ribbon. That's where you'll find select the file. Right. Okay, let us take a look at the TMs and LiveDocs corporate just to make sure we're going to be using the right sources. It's the blue link. Whoops.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. Okay, oh, there's only one TM, so choice is easy here. Okay, close that. Let's have a look at the confirm and lock tab. And all right, so if you have 100% match, it will mark it as translator confirmed. So, and it will not lock it the way you've got it right now. So if there's something about the text that came before or after that is going to require a rewrite of even 100% match, it'll still be possible for the translator to do that. But it will pre-translate it and mark it as translated if it hasn't changed. Otherwise, we'll get fuzzy matches. Let's go back to the scope and lookup tab. And yeah, you have any TM or corpus match selected. Now, what percentage match that means is going to depend on your TM settings file. The default setting for memoQ is actually kind of high for a good match. I think it's 95%. Okay, usually you want to see something lower than that. If you haven't customized the TM settings file, it's best to go with any TM or corpus match, which by default is, I don't know, maybe 65, 70%, something like that. Okay, so it looks like we can go with all the defaults. Just click OK and let's see what happens. Okay,
Yeah.
You can see you've got some stuff already pre-translated. That green bar, green progress bar, indicates how many 100% and 101% matches we got out of the pre-translation. It's about 19%. So 81% has had some kind of change. Now that change could be as small as a comma or a space added, or it could be a major rewrite. So let's go in, have a look at that file, and see what the fuzzy match situation is. Okay. All right, you see that? And if you click, for example, on any of these fuzzy matches, you'll see in the comparison window a markup. In this particular case is a big sentence, so you got to scroll down a little bit to see differences. Okay, there's some difference there, and you can scroll in the upper part of that and see the difference in the news source. The news source is at the top in the match comparison.
Okay.
There's probably some small rewrite there.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, it looks like everything was successful here. So you did a two-stage processing of the new version. First, you did xTranslate that locked the blocks of text where there have been no changes whatsoever. And then you did pre-translate to get not only the 100% matches at the edges of those blocks, but also to give you the fuzzy matches